आज के शो में हम बात करने वाले हैं योगा के बारे में, हम बात करने वाले हैं प्राणायाम के बारे में और हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में मौजूद है डॉक्टर मेहुल शाह, जिन्होंने कुछ साल पहले योगा को डिस्कवर किया और अपना आईटी का करियर छोड़कर फुल टाइम योगा टीचर बन गए एट जीक्री योगा। ही इज अ वेरी एक्सपीरियंस्ड योगा टीचर एंड ही इज एन एक्सपर्ट ऑन दिस टॉपिक। तो हमेशा की तरह अगर आपको उनसे कोई भी सवाल पूछने हैं योगा के बारे में तो आप बिना किसी संकोच के अपना फोन उठा सकते हैं और हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं। लेकिन इससे पहले कि मैं हमारे मेहमान से आपकी मुलाकात कराऊं, मेरी को कंपेनियन नताशा ने कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट्स तैयार किए हैं अबाउट योगा। तो सबसे पहले नताशा से वो फैक्ट्स सुन लेते हैं और फिर मैं आपकी मुलाकात हमारे मेहमान से कराऊंगी। सो लेट्स गो ओवर टू इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट्स।
मैं हूं नताशा और आज मैं आपको थोड़े से फैक्ट्स देने वाली हूं योगा के बारे में। सबसे पहले क्या आपको पता है कि द वर्ड योगा is derived from the Sanskrit root, believe it or not, yuj, meaning to yoke or to join together. It most often refers to the yoking of a conscious subject with a supreme spirit in order to teach an ecstatic condition called samadhi, a placing or putting together. It's derived from the Proto-Indo-European base, yug meaning to join. Doga is a type of yoga, believe it or not, in which people use yoga to achieve harmony with their pets. Now, dogs can either be made to use as props for their owners, or they can do the stretches themselves. It reportedly started in New York in 2002 when Susie Tiedelman started yoga for dogs. Would you believe? Now, yoga के कई सारे फायदे हैं. For example, it allows you to have better expression. Now, yoga helps you relieve your body of tiredness and accumulated stress, thus letting you to express yourself in a better way. It also helps you improve the power of breath. Now, yoga helps you to recognize the power of breath, and the pace of your breath also tells you your state of mind. Taking long and deep breaths calms the mind and relaxes the body. A lot of people say yoga empowers them. Now, yoga can help you add quality to your life, I should say, with a calm disposition. With a calm mind, you smile with your eyes and spread positive vibes all around you. Yes, yoga empowers the mind to vibe well with people and also situations. It also allows you to energize your mind and your body. Now, a great lifestyle is all about great energy levels. No doubt, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है, your strenuous workout can help you lose weight or manage yourself, but it drains you completely at the same time. However, yoga does the exact opposite by energizing you and making you feel refreshed in many ways. Yoga also transforms the mind. Now, yoga can help calm the chattering nature of the mind. It declutters the mind and becomes the abode of calm temperament, divine space, and also creativity. That was a mouthful. As a result, the present moment becomes paramount to each person practicing. It also helps in aura strengthening. Now, aura is nothing but a subtle field of energy enveloping the body. A person with a happy and calm mind radiates a positive aura and vice versa for a disturbed mind. Now, daily practice of yoga calms the mind and thus strengthens your aura, letting you beam with positivity to others, and not only that, but for yourself as well. It also has been said that it strengthens your organs. Now, yoga postures and breathing go hand in hand. A few days of yoga practice will show certain visible improvements, like realizing your breaths have become deep and long. You'll feel less stiff and crumpled as your muscles get relaxed. Your lungs will become stronger than ever, and your limbs may become more flexible, and your back will get stronger as well. Your mind will also begin to feel fresh, and your heart will certainly feel younger. उम्मीद है ये फैक्ट्स आपको पसंद आई होंगी. Back to you now in the studio where our expert will be answering all of your questions.
Thank you, Natasha, for those very interesting facts. तो अब वक्त आ गया है योगा के बारे में ढेर सारी बातें करने का, लेकिन हम आज के इस शो में एक कंपटीशन रन कर रहे हैं जिसके बारे में आपको बताना बहुत जरूरी है. तो आज हमें जो भी लोग कॉल करेंगे उन सारे कॉलर्स में से कोई एक लकी कॉलर चुना जाएगा और उसे मिलेंगे लैला द म्यूजिकल जाके देखने के लिए 2 टिकट्स. सो ऑल द बेस्ट टू ऑल दोस पीपल हु कॉल टुडे. उनमें से एक लकी कॉलर हम चुन लेंगे. तो अब मैं आपका और वक्त नहीं लूंगी और इमीडिएटली आपकी मुलाकात हमारे मेहमान से कराऊंगी. So, Dr. Mehul, welcome on the show once again.
Thank you, Sujata.
So, before I talk to you about yoga, or the details of yoga, or even the things that Natasha spoke about, the benefits of yoga, can you tell me how you got into yoga? You left a career of IT and became a yoga teacher. How did that happen?
It's primarily thanks to my wife Miti. She'd been doing yoga for a number of years and she told me to take it up, but I wouldn't listen to her. I was a typical person who thought, you know, I need to go to the gym, that's my workout. I had a really stressful job in the city, as you can imagine, with IT. But once I took it up, I began to realize how holistic yoga is, how it benefits every part of me, and I began to feel I slept better, the aches and pains went away, I had issues with breathing that went away, and I thought, wow, I just said, wow, this is the greatest gift I've received in my lifetime. This is the greatest gift anybody can give to anybody else. And so I thought, yoga has given me so much.
Absolutely.
I need to give something back. And that is why I decided to become a full-time yoga teacher.
Right, and you're a full-time yoga teacher at Chikri Yoga.
At Chikri Yoga. Chikri was founded by Neil Patel, who actually has been teaching it in his family for a number of years. 1990 was when he founded Chikri Yoga in Harrow. So we've been going for 26 years now.
Wow.
My wife Niti, I mentioned, is also a yoga teacher, Chikri Yoga teacher. My daughter Sheena is also a full-time Chikri Yoga teacher. So we've got it very much in our family. Now what Chikri Yoga does is it takes all the essential elements of yoga like asana, pranayama, meditation, relaxation, etc. But it also brings in other things like creativity and mind yoga and metaphysics. And the idea is that, to make yoga accessible for everybody.
Right.
So, but no matter what your background is, no matter what your religious background, cultural background, everybody can benefit from yoga.
Right.
And that's Chikri.
Right. Yoga done maybe when it was discovered, from that it has been adapted to so many different forms now. So is Chikri Yoga just one of the other forms of yoga? Or how is it? Because there's power yoga and there's laughter yoga therapy and there is yoga for mental illnesses. So just I wanted to...
So Chikri is very much all encompassing. It does, like I say, take in all the essential elements of classical yoga. So nothing is compromised, nothing is lost. But we also, like I said, we have creativity. We've got Neil's run hip-hop yoga classes, for example.
Okay.
We have music. We have laughter. We laugh. It's not laughter yoga particularly, but we have fun. So we make yoga fun, but we make the power yoga poses are also in there.
Right.
Nothing is compromised in Chikri Yoga. You get it all.
Okay. Do you do Surya Namaskar in Chikri Yoga?
Yes,
because
we do.
Done in power yoga?
Yes, we have our own particular way of doing Surya Namaskar, which is a little bit more challenging than the classical Surya Namaskar, but at the same time much more beneficial for the back. So we have that as well. Yes. And we have got many other dynamic sequences. There are not just Surya Namaskar, but we've got something called the warrior sequence.
Right.
We create sequences in every different class. This is the creativity. So you never know what's coming next.
One of the most important aspects I think of doing any type of yoga is the breathing. So can you tell me what pranayama is exactly?
Yeah. Pranayama breaks it into two parts. Prana is the vital life force that's inside every living being and in fact inside everything in creation. And the best way to describe this, a lot of, and I'll come to Yama, which is about control, but the best way to describe this is that, you see me sitting in front of you and you think I'm this body, I'm my cells, but if the next moment I were to drop dead, what's the difference? Biochemically, my cells are still the same. But the prana has left my body. My life force has left the body.
So prana yani pran.
It is essential.
Pran hai.
Yeah, everything inside. I think I'm digesting my food, my heart is beating, my body is breathing. Everything is happening as a result of the prana flowing inside of me. If there was no prana, none of this could work.
Absolutely.
And so pranayama is, so important because it's about control of the life force. Now, we often associate it with breathing, and the reason is this: prana is everywhere. It's in the sunlight, it's in food, it's in water, it's in air, it's in the cosmos. But the way we are designed, we get most of our prana from the air. And now, if you want to control the life force, what's beautiful about tying it to the breath is that we can control our breath. And by controlling our breath, we are able to control everything else because the breath links everything else. The mind is linked to the breath. The body is linked to the breath. So we take control of this life force flowing inside of us by taking control of our breath.
So हमारे breath को control करने से हम अपने brain को, हमारी body को एक तरह से control करते हैं. We control it. That's what.
Exactly. And we say that a breath is a good indicator of your state of being. Natasha mentioned that. If you're feeling flustered, then you'll find your breath is very short and it's haphazard and it's going all over the place. But if you're calm and you're relaxed, your breath will also be calm and relaxed. Now the beautiful thing about pranayama is that we can take control of the breath, calm it down, slow it down, and that will help relax our nervous system, our mind and everything else.
So सब पे काम करेगा, overall relaxation पे, हमारे mind पे, nervous system पे. Absolutely. So what are the benefits of pranayama?
Okay, there are so many. I don't even know where to start, so you'll have to stop me now. The first one is that you live longer. Okay.
Really, that's a very
you live
bold
longer.
statement to
The
make.
first one. Okay, I'll tell you why. If you calm yourself down, first the ancient yogis noticed that there is a relationship between how rapidly an animal breathes and how long they live. So, for example, mice will breathe over 100 times a minute.
Okay.
And they live only a few months. Okay.
Yeah.
Human beings come somewhere in between. We breathe typically 10 to 20 times a minute. And we live for about 70 to 90 years.
Right.
Now, have you heard about the giant tortoises who can live for hundreds of years?
Right.
They only breathe 3 to 4 times a minute.
Wow.
So the ancient yogis realized that, you know what, there's a relationship between how quickly you breathe and how long you live. So that's the first one. And they said by slowing the breath down, the reason is it helps to calm everything down, which means that the heart is not as stressed.
Right.
Our body can function properly, the food can digest properly, everything else is working optimally when you slow your breath down. So that's the first benefit. Then the other things that I talked about was the clarity to the mind, because if everything is calm, your thinking becomes sharper, because it's no longer clouded by all this nervous energy that's straying around.
So ज़्यादा सही तरीके से सोच सकते हैं.
So it takes you away from feelings of stress, anxiety, etc., and brings you into a really beautiful place where you think, okay, there's clarity, I feel good about myself because things are calm.
तो पहले काम लगता है, you're saying कि breathing अगर slow हो तो काम लगता है, nervousness हो तो वो कम हो जाती है, anxiety कम हो सकती है, तो overall breathing काम करने से सारी चीजें calmly चल सकती हैं.
Absolutely. And then that means that because you spend your day like that, you're going to sleep better at night as well, because the anxiety and stress is not there.
Right.
So it improves your sleep. Then there are certain breathing exercises like Kapalbhati, which actually pumps energy through the body by pumping the belly area. So it helps to tone your abdominal organs. It helps to improve your digestion. You get very, very clean blood. If you think about why we need to breathe.
Because the oxygen reaches all the parts of the body.
Every cell.
It gets absorbed in your blood in a better way.
How does the cell work, do its function? It converts that energy from the food into other forms of energy to keep the heat in the body, to keep this movement I'm doing, the talking I'm doing, the thinking I do.
So basically सब interconnected है. ये सारी चीजें एक दूसरे से connected.
Absolutely. That is what yoga is. Yoga is the unity and the connection of everything. It doesn't isolate things.
Absolutely.
Now, just like a fire, in order to burn brightly, needs good supply of oxygen, and then the waste product, the carbon dioxide, needs to be got rid of as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly like that's happening inside our body. So what pranayama does is it helps you to clean your blood and send really good oxygen into the cells, and at the same time detoxify it by removing the carbon dioxide, which means that you're not carrying poisons in your body, you don't have less headaches. Every organ is functioning optimally because each cell gets everything it wants.
Basically. प्राणायाम एज एन बेसिक ब्रेथ अवेयरनेस के बारे में आप बता सकते हैं, नॉट एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए, लेकिन नॉर्मल, जैसे कि आपने कहा कि यू हैव टू काम डाउन योर ब्रेथ, ब्रीथ स्लोली एंड फुली. तो जो ये बेसिक ब्रेथ है नॉर्मल सर्कमस्टेंसेस, घर में चलते फिरते काम करते, how should you breathe optimally?
Okay, so optimal breathing, I will actually demonstrate it in two different ways. To breathe optimally, we do what's known as the full yogic breath. And what that means is that and the best way of knowing whether you're doing the full yogic breath or not is by indication of movement. If I divide roughly my breathing area into two parts, and I'm indicating them by my hands here. Okay. To get the full yogic breath, the bottom hand should move as well as the top hand. And I'll isolate my breathing now into just moving the bottom hand. You viewers can do this at home as well with me, right there, so you can start to get the full yogic breath going. So if I only breathe here, breathing into the belly now. So you see the bottom hand moving. And then I'll explain what that indicates. And now the top hand, okay? Okay, so the bottom hand indicates that I'm getting breath going into the bottom part of my lungs. You think of the lungs as a triangle, that's where the maximum capacity is. So the bottom hand moving, we have a dome-shaped muscle called the diaphragm. It separates the chest cavity from the abdominal. To breathe in, that needs to flatten like this. As it flattens, the abdominal organs get pushed out. That's the indication. That's what you saw happening here. That is telling me my diaphragm is
But how do
working.
you control this from moving? If I try to do it, I can't hold this. If I do this,
Try it.
Both my hands will start moving.
No, try it, and then we'll get both of them moving. Okay, try just the bottom one. There you go. See? There you go. Okay, excellent. Now try the top one, and you can do it at home as well, viewers. Try the top. That's it. Good.
But I can feel my bottom one moving.
That's okay, but I can see the top one moving more.
Okay.
Okay.
And do the shoulders move?
Shoulders will move slightly because the chest is expanding.
Okay, so it's normal for the shoulders.
It's normal. It's normal. Okay. Now, the bottom hand, like I said, the diaphragm, that's your main breathing muscle. It works like a piston. That shows. And then the top hand means that the rib cage is expanding. That's protects your lungs. It's expanding and your lungs are blowing up like a balloon. So it's a combination of both of these means that you're breathing to the fullest capacity. So now I'll show the full yogic breath breathing both, okay? So you're going like this. Both hands move. And then breathing out.
So stomach first, the bottom one first and the top one.
Yeah, normally that's what will happen. I'm not too fussed about which, as long as both hands move, that's telling me that you're maximizing your breathing capacity.
So both hands have to move in the same breath?
In one breath. As you breathe in, they have to move outwards. That's an indication that things are going in. And that's one of the things that people often make a mistake with is reverse breathing. They often think if I need to breathe fully, my chest must expand, but the stomach must go in. You know, like those people in the army, they say, stomach in, chest out. Well, when you're breathing in, no, you have to get the bottom hand moving out as well, because that indicates that the diaphragm's engaged.
Right.
Okay, try it now. Try it, both hands. Breathing in deeply, bottom one moving. And the top. And can you feel the expansion? And now slowly release. Good. So that's the idea. When you're breathing in, everything expands. You think about your little sacs in the balloon, lungs like balloons. And then as you breathe out, everything relaxes back. That's the full yogic breath. This is what you do. Take slow breaths and use your hands, if you're not sure, to indicate whether you're moving both of them.
Perfect.
Okay.
We now have Dinesh who wants to talk to you. Hello, Dinesh.
Hello, Sujata. Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Zee Companion, Dinesh.
Hello, Dinesh. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. अविलोम विलोम प्राणायाम होता है, इसके बारे में कुछ बताओगे? वो इसके करने का सही तरीका क्या है? How many breaths you should take in and how many breaths you should blow out? और इसका फायदा क्या है?
बिल्कुल दिनेश.
Okay, so Anulom Vilom. It's alternate nostril breathing, and there are two variations to the alternate nostril breathing. One is where you don't retain the breath inside the body, so you would just breathe and like you'd continuously normally would. Another one is with retention. But let me talk about what we do. When you're breathing in from the right hand side, and do you want to do it with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so just take a forefinger and thumb. We control which nostril we breathe in by lightly covering the entrance. So you're not pressing,
so
you're just lightly covering the entrance. Just the entrance, okay? So when you breathe in from the right, so cover the left now and just breathe in from the right. And then cover both. Open the left and breathe out from the left. Good. Now breathe in from the left. Cover both. Open the right, breathe out from the right. And that's how you'd continue. Now breathe in from the right. Hold, breathe out from the left. And then breathe in from the left. Good. Cover both. Breathe out from the right. Okay. Now that is a variation of Anulom Vilom called Nadi Chodhana.
Okay.
When you breathe in through the right, what it does is it stimulates the nerve that is responsible for energizing your body. It starts to raise blood pressure, temperature. It stimulates the logical side of your thinking, often related to as the sun breath. When you breathe in through the left, it's the complementary process. It's called the moon breath. This helps to calm things down. It lowers the blood pressure. It lowers the temperature. It stimulates the side of the brain which is responsible for the creative and intuitive thinking. So this is, and the idea with the alternate nostril breathing is that we need to get a balance. Not too much of one, not too much of the other. So by changing the breath and breathing from one side at a time, we are making sure that we are getting a nice balance between the right side and the left side.
Right.
That's alternate nostril breathing. And I know Dinesh asked the questions about the benefits. So the benefit here is it brings everything into balance.
Okay.
Okay, that's the primary benefit. What it also does, it clears all the nasal passages, sinuses, etc.
Right.
So very, very good for that. Now, I'm going to also introduce the one with retention of the breath.
Okay.
This is Anulam Vilom, where what you do is you're going to breathe in to a count of 3, hold the breath inside your lungs and body for a count of 3, breathe out for 3,
Right.
and then you know, from the opposite side, and then you start the cycle again. You okay to go with that? These are the two different variations.
Okay.
Okay. This one is a combination of alternate nostril with what we call in Chiku the Trinity breath, dividing the breath into 3 parts.
All right.
And I'll then talk about the benefits about that. But you want to do that quickly? Do you want me to demo it?
We could do it during the show after a couple of minutes.
After a couple of minutes.
But Dinesh, thank you so much for calling us today. I hope that answered your question. Thank you. I want to talk to you more about this, but we have a couple of more callers who want to talk to you, so let's talk to them first.
Wonderful.
Hello, Bobby.
Hello, a very good evening, Sujata ji, and
Good
to your
evening.
guests. I'm really enjoying your show.
Thank you, Bobby.
I'm learning a lot. I have a question for your invitee.
Go ahead. He's listening to you.
So what it is that I would like to know if you can suggest any particular maneuvers in the yogic therapy which can improve the throat, and basically the passage of air through the throat, because I have a very weak throat and I tend to suffer from I tend to have a lot of problems with my throat. Is there anything specific which you can recommend, or any pranayams which basically can improve that, please?
Okay, so what sort of problem, Bobby, do you have with your throat?
Okay, so I tend to have tickly throat, and I suffer from sometimes hyperacidity and stuff like that.
Okay. One thing I can offer to you, I mean, you slow the breath down was one thing, but other thing I can offer to you is something known as the Ujjayi breath. What that helps is it helps to strengthen the area around the throat, because you start to engage the muscles around the throat to carry out the Ujjayi breath. The thing with this is that this is a breath which is one that is a very drying breath. It will help to remove mucus and dampness from the body as well. And the technique consists of constricting the throat muscle slightly. So I'm going to demonstrate it very briefly, and then I'll talk about how to carry it out. So what the idea would be is that I would make a sound, and then I'll convert the sound into a whisper. And as you do that, the muscles you need to engage to convert the sound into a whisper are exactly the same muscles you would need, but then I'll just close my mouth, and because the breathing has to be done from the nose.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the out breath, because I was going to start making the sound, but then you employ those muscles on both the in breath as well as the out breath.
Okay.
So here's how it would be. Ha. So I did one breath there. I did an out breath followed by an in breath, but that noise that I made, in order to convert the ha into ha, is the engagement of the muscles. And then that is Ujjayi breathing. That helps to strengthen the area around the throat.
Okay, perfect. All right, Bobby, I hope that answered your question. Thank you so much for calling us today. Thank you. अब हमारे साथ फोन पर मौजूद है मिस्टर जमाली. हेलो मिस्टर जमाली.
Yes.
Hi, welcome to Zee Companion. क्या पूछना चाहते हो हमारे मेहमान से?
Yes. मुझे 3 years before operated for disc, और मुझे इनसे पूछना है कि जिसे प्रॉब्लम है वो भी सारे योगा कर सकते हैं या कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन है?
Right. So people who have problems with their disc.
Okay. First thing is yoga is very, very good for the spine and the back. Generally, it is very, very good. The main thing, though, is that you ask your healthcare professionals as to what restrictions they have given you to do. And as long as you work within the range of restrictions, there is so much yoga does, because the spine is a very important part in yoga, because it carries the prana I was talking about. It goes up and down down the spine, and therefore yoga practices will make sure that your spine is strong and healthy. There are movements I can show one somewhere, a very simple movement to open the front and back of the spine just now. And if that is okay, and if it's not painful, the main thing is make sure there's no pain and that your healthcare professionals are okay with this. So it's called the dynamic cat movements. What you would do is you come down onto your hands and knees with your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips, and the hands are going to be in front of your knees and your feet will be behind. This is known as flat cat.
Okay.
And then what you do is you open up the front and back of the spine by going into arched cat. This is arched cat, where I'm opening up the back of my spine. You see that lifting up, tucking my chin in towards my chest and drawing my tailbone in towards me like this. And then you return to flat cat, and then you go into inverted cat, the opposite direction. So chin goes forwards and upwards, you drop the stomach and spine down towards the floor, take the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So just simple movements like this. Arched cat, inverted cat. You do that roughly for about 1 or 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes, that is enough. And then afterwards just release the spine. You sit down like this and go into what's known as child pose. There, you're sitting on your heels. You'll just calmly lower your body down to the ground.
If I won't...
And that just releases the back afterwards. Okay.
All right, Mr. Jamali, I hope
you.
that answered your question. Thank you so much for calling us today. Thank you. Obviously, you showed these positions. They'll be helpful for everyone, but like you said, it's important to talk to your healthcare professional because every case
Absolutely. Safety first always.
Absolutely.
And anything that somebody's not sure of, that you don't do, anything that, any pain, any discomfort, bring yourself out. Yoga is not something that takes you into a position of discomfort or pain ever.
Right. Perfect. So on this note, maybe we should just head into a short break and we'll continue after the break.
Okay.
तो जैसे कि मैंने कहा, हम एक छोटा सा ब्रेक ले रहे हैं. आप कहीं भी मत जाइएगा, देखते रहिएगा जी कंपेनियन.